Hello everybody, this is Dan from Christie's RV. Today we're going to be taking a look at this 2020 Jayco Jay Flight SLX 224BH. We're going to go over the stuff that you need to know once you've purchased this unit. First things first, in the front compartment you have your crank handle for your stabilizer jacks. On the front of the unit you have your two propane bottles. There's two 30-pound bottles. In the middle there's a crossover regulator. So this system is designed to be used with both bottles open. Whichever bottle that this arm is pointing towards is the one it will be drawing propane from. When that bottle becomes empty, the little sight gauge on the front is going to go red. It's going to automatically start drawing propane from the other tank. So once you notice that this sight gauge is red, you need to switch over to that one. The sight gauge will go clear again. Then you can remove the empty bottle to have it filled. So on the side of the unit you have your city water connection, so that's where you hook your hose up. On top of that you have your outside shower. So down underneath you have your sewer hookup. So there's a brand new sewer hose in the back bumper. You just got to twist the cap off. The sewer hose twists on the same way. Then you have your two valves, your gray and your black. So the black is the toilet, the gray is the sink water, and you just pull open the valve, whichever one you want to dump. Right here are the low point drains for the water system. So the red one is the hot lines, the other one is the cold lines. In the back corner you have your cable or satellite hookup. So that's where you hook your coax cable up. On the rear of the unit you have where your power cord comes out. It just pulls in and out, and the door can close so no critters will go in there. It's approximately 20 feet of power cord. Next you have your water heater. So to open your water heater door you just got to turn the tab so it pops open. So everything is controlled from inside the unit. The only thing in here is the drain plug. So the drain plug goes in the hole here. As a note, if you're going to drain the water out of the tank, you need to make sure that there's no propane or no pressure in the system by opening up a set of taps before you do that. On the side here you have your pressure relief valve. It is common for them to drip a little bit. So the rear compartment is the outside kitchen. So inside you have your bar style fridge. It's on as long as the unit is plugged in, and you have your temperature controls at the back. The cooktop and sink you just need to pull out to get them to come out. And you can just lift the lid. Set it like that. So underneath you got a propane hose with quick connect. So you just need to stick the quick connect on. So just pull the collar back and push it up into place. There's another one here. Once it's on, there's a little valve you can open. And then you can just set your temperature and light each individual burner. Next thing you have is the fridge vent. Now, one key thing to remember on this is it needs airflow through that vent, so you can't lean anything up against it that would impede airflow. Below that you have your furnace exhaust. It'll be hot if it's running. Next you have your fresh tank fill. So if you're going to fill the fresh tank, you're just going to put your hose in there and fill. Once the tank is full, it's just going to start draining water out underneath the unit. So in front of the tire you get this little white valve. That's the drain for the fresh tank. This is your cable and satellite hookup for an output. So if you wanted to hook a TV up outside, that's where you hook it up. It has the mount here and the plug-in there. The last thing on this side is your range hood vent. So if you want to use the vent, you need to open it first. So you just stick your fingers in and pop it free. For traveling, you need to close it. You just need to push it closed until it clicks into place. So to open the stairs on this unit, you just need to pull this little lever out, then you can open them. Now each individual leg is adjustable through this pin, so you can just adjust the legs as you need be to get it to line up properly with the ground. So just inside the door, you have your awning switch. So to put your awning out, you're just going to push and hold the out button. So one thing to note with this awning is they're not made for high winds or heavy rain. So if you have either of those, you need to roll the awning up. As well as I'd recommend, if you're not going to be at your unit, that you roll it up as well. Okay, so once the awning is out, you can adjust the pitch of the awning arms. So you can adjust both arms however you see fit. All you need to do is just pull down on this bottom arm to shorten the awning up. So like I said, you can do either side. One thing to note with this style is that because it is a friction fit here, over time it will become looser, and when you pull down, the arm won't stay down. You'll just need to tighten this center bolt up. Put it back up, you're just going to push it back up into a straight position. And then just hold the in button until it gets all the way in. Below that, you have two light switches. One's interior lights, one's the exterior light under the awning. Beside that is your monitor panel. So you can check your battery level, fresh tank, black tank, or gray tank. They all share the same gauge. Then you have three switches on the bottom. So you have your water pump switch. You want to run your water pump, just flip it on. Your water heater, gas or electric. So you just flick on whichever one you want. So electric or gas. So the gas one itself will light on its own. If it does not light on its own, it will light this little fault light up at the top corner to tell you that it did not light. So your hood fan, you have the two switches, you have your light and your fan. The cooktop itself, you're just going to select whichever burner you want and then turn the striker. The center burner is the high output burner, so it's the one you'll want to use if you're going to boil water. To light the oven, you have to just turn the knob to the little flame symbol. Once you get to the right spot, you can push in on the knob. So you'll push in on the knob, turn the sparker. So you can see the flame running. So you need to hold it for a few seconds. Once you release, the flame should stay on, and then you can just set the temperature you want. Below that, you have your load center. To open it, you just push in the center and it comes open. It's all labeled for fuses and breakers. One thing to note with an RV style breaker is it does not have an indicator to tell you that the breaker is blown. So if you have an issue with power, you need to just find the right breaker, turn it off, and turn it back on to reset. Now on the fridge, your controls are in the center. You have a few choices. You have auto or gas. So if you turn it on gas, it will be propane only. If it doesn't light on propane, the bottom orange light's going to just flash indicating that it did not light. So if you put it on auto, auto is going to use electricity as long as it's present. So if you were plugged in and the power went out, it would automatically switch to gas. And then as soon as power is reintroduced, it's going to switch back to electricity. And then you just have your selections for temperature. And the temperature is for both the fridge and freezer. So on this wall, you have your thermostat. So the thermostat controls both the air conditioner and the furnace. So this unit is what they call a compassive touch. So it isn't actually a button. You just need to press softly on this. If you press hard, over time, then it'll stop working properly. So the first press, he just turns on, The next one, you're going to have your fan setting. So you have auto, high or low fan. So what that wants to do is just run the fan for the air conditioner. The next one is going to be your air conditioning. So you're just going to set to the temperature you want the air conditioning to come down to. So with the last fan setting, if you leave it on auto, the fan and the air compressor will work together. So when it comes down to temperature, both will shut off. If you have high or low fan selected, it'll still run the fan, but it will not run the air conditioning compressor when it gets to temperature. So the fan will stay running. If you leave it on high or low, it will also run the air conditioning fan when the furnace is running. So to do the furnace, you're just going to press it again. Again, you're going to set the temperature you want. So the furnace is going to run for 15 to 20 seconds before it lights as a safety precaution. As well, when it either comes down to the temperature that you have it set at or you turn it off, it's going to run for 15 to 20 seconds again as a safety precaution again. And to turn it off, I'm just going to press it again until it goes to the off screen. So in the bathroom, you have the breaker in here is your GFI reset breaker. So this breaker controls anything that's in a wet location. So the one in the bathroom, the kitchen, and the exterior plug is controlled through here. If it trips the GFI, this little red light's going to be on, and you just need to reset it right here on this plug. So the toilet in this unit is a foot flush toilet. So to flush the toilet, you step the foot pedal all the way to the floor. If you just want to add water to the bowl, you just partially step on the pedal. So this unit itself is equipped with water heater and water pump bypass for winterizing purposes. So the water pump is underneath the sink. So you open the cupboard door. It has this little cover panel. You can take a couple screws out. You can remove the cover panel. You get here, you got one valve. So the valve itself controls if it either pulls from the tank or pulls from the clear hose. So as it is right now, this would be for winterizing, where it'll pull from the hose. For normal summer use, so it's pulling from the tank, it's going to be in that location. The water heater in this unit is at the back of the unit, so it's under the bunk. They give you a little access panel. So you can see the one valve right above the black hose there. So right now we are in summer mode. So there's one valve there, one valve on the top, and one valve in between. So right now it's in summer mode. To get to winter mode, you're just going to have to turn the valves the opposite direction for winterizing. On the stereo in this unit, the one thing to note is you have your speaker zones on the side. Zone 1 is your interior speakers. Zone 2 is the exterior speakers. So you can do whatever combination of that you see fit. On top of the TV, or behind the TV, there is where your coax connection is. If you want to use antenna, there's a little booster. You have to push it so it's on. It'll help boost the TV signal. The one thing to note is if that booster is pressed, then it will always run antenna and it won't pick up either or the other. So I think that's just about it for this unit. I hope you enjoy it. Have a great day.